There are many who wonder about the Ten Kings of Revelation, but it just isn't really talked about very often. I'm pretty sure that most people don't know that much about them, but there is over 2,500 years of critical information hiding in plain sight. I'm about to make those vital connections for you, so sit back and get ready. Your eyes are about to be opened wide. The beginning of the story of the Ten Kings actually doesn't start in the future. It actually began many centuries ago before the time of Jesus in the ancient Middle East. King Nebuchadnezzar ruled in what is now known as southern Iraq, formerly known as Babylon or Babylonia, between 605 BCE and 562 BCE. One night, King Nebuchadnezzar had a terrible dream and demanded to know what it meant. Finally, Daniel the prophet was called from his jail cell to recount and interpret the dream. Daniel made such an incredible impression on the king that it later led to the great mercies he showed prophet Jeremiah during his invasion of the Holy Land. As stated in Daniel chapter 2, Daniel approached the king and recounted his visions of a giant statue made of gold, silver, brass, iron, and iron with clay. Daniel made sure to explain the importance of the dream for the latter days. He further went on to explain that the statue involved 7 nations or kingdoms and 10 kings that will rise from those kingdoms to make up a new empire, the Beast Kingdom. He even told us that the head of gold was Babylonia, or what we now call southern Iraq. Here we see the nations that will band together to form this new beast empire and exactly where the 10 kings come from. 4 of the 10 kings will come from Iran, and the other 6 will come from Iraq, Greece, Turkey, Syria, Egypt, and Russia. A little over 100 years later came Haman the Agagite. He originated from Macedonia but was loyal to Persia. Persia is now known as Iran, and the second part of the statue in silver. Haman was not only high in Persian ranks under the king, but he was a major threat and adversary to the Israelites. This is how the story of Esther comes about. She has to stand in the gap for her people to save them, even if it means her own demise. She saved her people after revealing her identity to the king, and Haman was hung on his own gallows around 473 BCE. But not only Haman was hung, they hung Haman's sons as corpses post mortem. You would think that would be the end of it, but the story continued after many centuries. In 1942, during Purim, 6 years before Israel would once again become a nation, Hitler did something very strange. Hitler took revenge on 10 randomly selected Jews during the Holocaust to execute solely for the purpose of avenging Haman's 10 sons on Esther's Purim holiday. Weird, right? And with the same hatred for the Jews. Both Hitler and Haman wanted to completely wipe out the Jews. Even recently, Haman has been connected with our time through a Middle East group known as Hamas. Haman and Hamas are both associated with persecution and violence. Here we see the spirit alive and well in today's Middle East. While Haman is primarily located in the Gaza Strip, they coincidentally also currently have camps in Egypt and Turkey. So, what does Haman have to do with the 10 kings? Well, basically, they will be known as the sons of darkness, after the 10 sons of Haman. Esther's sealed scroll even pointed out there was a connection between Haman and the sons of darkness. The 10 sons of darkness, or the 10 kings, will help rule over the army of darkness for the prince of darkness from the new beast empire, creating a new world order. The prophecy of the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, with 10 crowns on its horns and blasphemous names on its head, is found in Revelation 13 1 through 5. These verses also basically say that the beast kingdom has 10 kings that will come from 7 countries, just like the statue from Daniel and Nebuchadnezzar's day. Just like it. But it's in the chapter about the Antichrist of the tribulation. Even the Bible is making the connection between Nebuchadnezzar's dream and the beast kingdom of Revelation. And again, in Revelation 17:12 through 14.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called, and chosen, and faithful.
The beasts, in the end, are kingdoms banded together for strength in order to overcome those whose names are written in the book of life for a season. While this beast of an international union will prevail for a short time, it is fragile. It won't stand, and ultimately the system will collapse. Turmoil will plague this new beast kingdom from within right from the start, and it will be completely broken and destroyed by the Lamb. Not only that, but Haman's spirit will be banished once and for all by a king that loves his bride, just like with Esther. Do you know what that tells us? That while we wait for Esther to be revealed, Haman is also here. He wants them wiped off the face of the earth, and he's been planning this for much longer than anyone has realized. But never fear, Jesus has overcome the world. That's all I have for you today, folks. God bless you all, and I'll talk to you soon, God willing.